Please be advised of the disclaimers.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Sai with Pinnacle Trading here. So when are markets finally going to drop? Let's take a look, let's jump in. So the first thing we see is S&P 500. We see another sell-off today. Markets keep trying to bounce back, just keep falling. And overall, we see on the 5 days about a weekly chart and markets, they keep trying to go back up, but just keep falling. So when will they actually fall? Well, if you did watch my other videos, 5-minute market recap and how to time markets, I kind of show you the moving averages, where to look for support, resistance. So we're going to cover that again, and we'll also look at the latest market analysis that I'm using. So I'm not a financial broker in any way, this is just my analysis, so feel free to do your own education and own research before going into trades and into the markets. So we see that the big resistance right now is at the all-time highs, which is where marked out in the red line at the 480 level on S&P 500. Symbol for that is SPY. This big support that I see is 450, and it's not 460, it's not 455, just because when you look at the chart, just simply looking at this highlighted section right here, you can simply look at the highs and the lows, and when you just draw the sideways line, you can see that every time it hit that 450 level, which is where I had this marker, this line at, that every time it hits that level right here, there's one right there, and then there's two, and then we see 3, 4. So it's really trying to test that 450 level. That's why I say don't panic, don't get scared, don't be selling everything. If you just see markets just coming down a little bit for a week or two, you want to look for that 450 support and the big support to actually break before taking a decision. So that's just my analysis and my take on this. And the next support below that is going to be the 200 SMA, obviously. So when we look at a longer term chart, like a 3-year chart, what do you see on this one? We can see that every time it hits a 50 SMA, bounces back. Every time it hits a 50 SMA, bounces back. Maybe goes below, gets rejected, but if it doesn't go to 200 SMA, and then it goes over 50 SMA, makes new highs every single time. A lot of people thought markets were going to crash last year and the year before and year before. We had panic sell-off in 2020, that's for sure, which is right over here. We had a big panic sell-off, but markets has bounced back and continued to plow on and make new highs. When we look at a longer term chart, like a 10-year chart, we can kind of see that the RSI and the MACD, these are two other indicators. They are in the overbought region, so we are going to see some sort of correction this year, maybe 10-20% at the minimum, maybe even more, because we haven't really had a true market crash or recession in over 10 years. The COVID or the quarantine or whatever you want to call it in 2020 that happened March and April, that was just a panic selling, that was just a flash market sell-off. That wasn't a true market crash. So I want to see some sort of market correction this year. It'd be great to buy long-term things, and a good example of this one that follows 50 SMA is Apple. Every time it touches the 50 SMA or 200 SMA, makes a nice bounce back. If you look at the longer term chart, like a 3-year chart, you can really see that over here. So when we had a sell-off in October on Apple and it tried to test 200 SMA, it really couldn't and just bounced back. But you see that when you just draw horizontal lines, when you look at the 140 and then you look at the 145, you want to kind of squeeze the chart in that. If it doesn't go below, no reason to sell, no reason to panic. If it goes over, that's where we start look for uptrend. We add on the way up, buy more on the way up, on the reversal confirmation, and keep going. So that's my take on the overall market, that there's really no need to panic until we see the 450 break and the 200 SMA break. Once we start seeing this going below 450, I'm going to look to scale out of long-term positions. I'm going to look to take some profits on swing trades, etc. So that's really my take on this one. And we can maybe even see markets bounce back tomorrow and make all-time highs this week again. We don't really know, but the only thing we know is where the resistance is and the support is. So identify those levels before taking entry, exit, or scaling in or scaling out of positions. This really keeps your emotions out of the markets itself. So I hope that video helps. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the like button. Also share the video. If you want to join our chat room where we have all different trade ideas, a great growing chat room to talk with other people. I do a lot of long-term investing alerts. Video is more for long-term, why not to panic for long-term. And also check out my other video on how to time markets and how to actually avoid panic selling. And head over to my website, pinnacletrading.us. If you want to join the chat room, click that button right there, or the link is in the description below. If you want to enhance your education, cut your learning curve, make sure to grab my Pinnacle trading course. Click on the button right here. This is where I teach you the basic fundamental stock market education, how to trade and invest, and some of my secrets to you to really change your trading and investing game that I've learned over the years myself. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit that subscribe and like button.